Hello and welcome back to Matt Hayes Tottenham Blog and to today's members only call-in show discussing our new manager Nuno Espirito Santo and the upcoming transfer window. I'm really excited to get your opinions on what to expect of Tottenham this season and what you make of the appointment and so much more. Now, before we do get our first channel member on, we've had a few waiting patiently in the back room. If you are new to the channel, please do make sure to hit that like button. If you're looking forward to this video, hit that subscribe button as well, because to give back to subscribers today as well, the live chat is subscribers and members only, so please do hit that subscribe button. And look, thank you to all our channel members as well. I know we haven't done one of these in a while, but we'll be getting to do a few more of them throughout the summer, and then of course at the beginning of every single watch along throughout next season, we'll be having these member call-in shows. Quickly, just want to bring up to date on a couple of transfer updates from today. There's nothing too major, nothing from any extremely reliable sources. Calcio Mercato are saying that Tottenham are interested in Atalanta goalkeeper Pierluigi Gallini. La Collina de Nervion have had two updates on our centre-backs. They've said, firstly, that Tottenham will move to sign Milan Skriniar if the club cannot reach an agreement for Jules Koundé, and we are willing to offer €58 million to sign Jules Koundé, but Sevilla are demanding closer to his €80 million release clause. Calcio Mercato have also claimed in the last couple of hours that Tottenham have reached an agreement with Takahiro Tomiyasu over personal terms, and Deporte Valenciano are saying that George Mendes is attempting to secure Gonzalo Guedes a transfer to Tottenham this summer. Valencia need to sell players to raise their own funds. There's also some news in the last couple of days on Miralem Pjanic and his potential move to Spurs. It is believed that Barcelona need to sell because of their extremely high wage bill. Miralem Pjanic is one of the players who they offered to terminate the contract of, but Pjanic rejected as he wants to find a new club before cutting his ties with Barcelona. But there is definitely scope for a move to happen there. It may cost Spurs a lot per week in wages. But look, let's dive straight into things. Let's get our first channel member on. We've had Brad Matthews, a very, very big supporter of the channel, has been sitting there patiently in the back room. Let's get him on. Brad, how are you getting on today?
Hi. I can't hear you, Matt.
You can't hear me? Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can... Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can
Perfect.
you hear me?
There we go. I apologize for that. I can hear you. I think I have the wrong mic connected to the other to StreamYard. But look, Brad, first of all, how are you getting on?
Fine, thanks. Yeah, I just finished work about 6 o'clock. It's quite busy at this time of year or this time of month, so I sort of get the old guitar out and give it a bit of a thrash. I mean, I was supposed to do all the nice sort of proper practicing bits, but when you've had a rough day, it's all right, just belt it out. Sort of.
You got to just play as loud as you can.
Yeah, other than that, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Good. I saw your video on Twitter playing "It's Coming Home" for We Are Tottenham TV. Now, we won't have any "It's Coming Home" on this an Irish channel, but it was a great video. I'd love to be able to play the guitar, but I can't. But look, we'll dive straight into things. Brad, Nuno Espirito Santo, the new head coach of Tottenham. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually sort of quite liking the idea now. I think, and I'm obviously not the first person to say this, but yeah, when you're offered Pochettino coming back and when you're offered Conte and it doesn't happen, and then you get Nuno, it's like, oh, that was a bit of a letdown. But I think if it had been Nuno, even after Poch was sacked, if they'd have gone that way, and I think after reading about him and watching things on YouTube and hearing all the people's comments, and I only know him as the manager of Wolves, and I knew Wolves to be quite a defensive team on the break, that sort of thing. And so everyone's always the next Mourinho and this sort of. So, but when you read into him, he's actually quite adaptable. And his Valencia teams, for instance, has played pretty good football. So, yeah, I do like what I've seen. I liked his little interview he gave. Yeah, all right, some of it's probably going to be, hey, Nuno, say this sort of thing. I mean, DNA's been overused now.
That's the word that got us all. Is it like 6 or 7 times in a 2-minute spell? It was extremely scripted from Levy on that front. But I agree with you. He's a very adaptable manager, and there's some reports that Fabio Paratici convinced Daniel Levy he was the right man by showing him some of the football he played at Valencia. So he can play that attacking football. Yeah. And some of the players, especially that you think would thrive off this, are wing backs. And one of them being Matt Doherty, who had a fantastic time under Nuno. Wolves. Do you think the ship has sailed for Doherty, or do you think this is a chance to redeem himself?
You know what, Matt? I tend to give new players 2 seasons. I seem to give them like a time to settle in. Matt Doherty is an attacking player, and he was playing more or less last season as a right back in a back four, and it doesn't really allow him to get forward, or they might play regular, not getting forward a lot more, and he actually defend more. And I think it's all playing with new teams is also difficult as well, and I don't think we saw the best of him. So I tend to give new players, at least 2 seasons. I mean, I did it with Sissoko. Everyone was writing him off, and yet he came good. All right, he's gone back to being old Sissoko, but yeah, when he came good, he did actually come good, and he's one of our better players. Players like Lamela, I thought sort of took a while to get in, and also it all depends on what you know about the player. Like for instance, when Lamela joined, I thought he was this tricky winger, like Ronaldo sort of thing, and yet he wasn't. He was a gritty right-sided midfielder. So with Doherty, we saw him getting forward a lot for Wolves in the box now, not just overlapping as a fullback, but getting actually in the box. I think he scored at White Hart Lane, and the guy next to me actually said he's a good player. We should get him. So I think he hopefully will come good this season. And from what I'm reading, what they're talking about the fitness levels and discipline levels at the club under Mourinho, which surprised me. I thought Mourinho would be more of a disciplinarian, but from what I've been reading, and like everybody else, the fitness levels, he didn't worry about fitness. Oh, right, yeah, players should be able to keep themselves fit. They're professional sportsmen. They shouldn't need to be, told how to. But obviously, it wasn't thought of as much over there. Whereas Pochettino was like, that was the big thing. Pochettino was about the fitness levels. And you could see us last season how we were fading out in games where we never used to. So yeah, I think Nuno is, from what I've heard, is quite strict on that sort of thing, that discipline and that fitness. And he gets on well with the players, which is exactly what Pochettino did. If you did what Pochettino wanted you to, he was great. If you didn't, then you're out the door. And I think hopefully this will be the same with Nuno, which makes the Jose Mourinho sort of season all the more confusing because it wasn't the Mourinho that we saw. Certainly not the Chelsea Mourinho. Maybe the Man United Mourinho.
but probably not a good thing about him. But I agree with you. There are similarities between Nuno and Poch in the way they deal with players and their man management and things like that. And one player that I personally think suffered from the kind of cold shoulder that Jose often gave to out of form players is Dele Alli. And we've heard him, we all see the pictures of him on social media every single summer. He goes out to Dubai and he has these personal training camps. But he's come out and he said, he blames himself for his failures, and it was a good experience to work under Jose Mourinho. Do you think he's a player that maybe could refine that form this season under Nuno?
I really, really hope so. I thought he was given a few chances under Mourinho, but didn't get a run of games, which I think you need if you haven't been playing. I really do, because the guy is so talented. We all know his talent. And I think that, whether he can fit in with the sort of system that Nuno plays, I don't know, because I think I was saying the other night that he has had his best years as coming from behind, like behind the striker and ghosting in there and scoring goals like that. Very much like Martin Peters used to do back in the day when I was a lad, sort of thing. But I mean, it's up to him, isn't it? He's putting the work in at the moment, and I think he must realise that his career, certainly at Tottenham, is at a crossroads. And with the new manager, he's starting afresh now, isn't he? Whereas he was sort of in and out of Pochettino's team, wasn't he? Really, in the later days, and when Mourinho came in, it was sort of the same sort of thing. But now he's got a new coach to impress, and I mean, if he can, you've got to have little hobbies and that sort of thing. But he can't, that can't be your whole life. He's a footballer at the end of the day. That's what we pay him for, to play football, not to sell things on Boohoo or play Fortnite or whatever, sort of thing. Actually, it's quite funny. Where I work near the Great West Road. It's like an over, and it goes all the way to Heathrow Airport and that. They got these big advertising sort of things there. And I remember walking into work, and there it was, Boohoo, with a big picture of Dele Alli on there. Oh, sort of thing.
You've seen a lot more of him off the pitch than you are on the pitch. But
exactly.
You're completely right. Like, he was in and out of that team under Pochettino at the end of his tenure, and when Jose Mourinho came in, he was revitalised then. I think we all remember that assist for Son against West Ham when he thought Dele Alli's back. Where we're going to see the best of him, and he couldn't quite make something out of that. But hopefully he will get something out of this, because he's an incredibly talented player, and I really do want to see him succeed at Spurs. But one player that we're delighted with the form of that we may not have next season is Harry Kane. And I know there's not one Spurs fan that enjoys talking about this situation at the moment. But do you think Harry Kane will be a Spurs player on the 1st of September?
You know what? I think it depends on Daniel Levy. Because Daniel Levy is the sort of person that will say he's not going. Hey, here's 130 million. Oh, you're gone. He did it with Berbatov, right at the last minute. I don't think Harry Kane's the sort of player that will cause trouble. if he doesn't get the deal. Now, the comments he made the other day, he didn't actually say, I'm staying at Spurs. He said, I'm looking forward to meeting Paratici. I'm looking forward to meeting the new coach. I mean, he's saying what, he's not going to go on there and say, no, I don't care. I'm not playing for Spurs next year. He's not going to say that. So he's saying all the right things, but then he is the ultimate professional. He will say that sort of thing. But yeah, I think Harry will certainly give it a chance. How long that will take and whether he still desperately wants to go. But yeah, Daniel Levy is the key here, because all this talk about he's not going. Here's some money, Daniel. Oh, okay. And then he'll come out with, we didn't, when you get money offered us like that, you haven't got a choice, blah, blah, blah. What I can't understand is he's pleading poverty. Spurs aren't poor. We're not rich, but we're not poor. He's pleading poverty and blaming COVID for not having any money coming in. And yet they charge 60 quid for the tickets for the Villa game. So surely he must realise that if they're suffering from the COVID, other people are as well that pay the money to go to the games,
Yeah, the £60 for that game was absolutely crazy. You see Burnley giving fans their tickets for free for the same match day. And I remember, I think it's Hassan Salihamidzic, the sporting director of Bayern Munich. He was talking about the season ticket prices over in Bayern. It's like €100 for a ticket for a full season. He made the point that 20 quid to a fan could be the difference between going to the game and not going to the game. Whereas for them, when you tot it all up, it could be €2 million over the season, and that's nothing to them because of the multinational corporation that they are. And if only Daniel Levy had the same mindset of that. But speaking of Levy, he's promised time and time again to put his hand into his pocket and invest in the squad in the summer window. We're seeing lots of links already this window. We're looking at potentially getting a deal over the line soon for Takahiro Tomiyasu. We'll be linked with Jules Koundé, Milan Skriniar and Miralem Pjanic, as I mentioned on the top of the show as well. How do you see this window panning out in terms of signings?
I see us being linked with literally every player, not getting any of them. Maybe one or two. I've seen it all before, But look, it's up to them to prove me wrong, really. I see that we're still up to our old tricks with I can't say his name. The Japanese that they want so much money and we're offering less, and then we're moving it up, but still, we'll eventually pay you the asking price. It's going to happen. Yeah. But no, we want to pay this. Now, whether that's Levy, whether that's Paratici, we don't know how much Levy is having in it. I know in the past he had the purse strings all the time. I think I said the other night, just give the coach the money, give them, but this is your budget. You spend it how you want, buy the players you want with that money. This sort of brinkmanship that he seems to thrive off of. And the thing is, the other people at other clubs, they're used to it now, so they just know. They know that if we don't sell Tottenham, we'll get the right money from another club. So this Tomiyasu will go somewhere. I mean, he seems to have his heart set on Tottenham at the moment, from what you read. But he will go, and they'll get the asking price, and we'll be left in the lurch again. So, yeah, it's the old tricks, which I think, and same with selling players as well. Wanted to get back all the money. No, just get what you can. It's it's the market now.
Yeah, it's baffling how Daniel Levy just never seems to learn, and we as fans can sit here and we can point out all his flaws and the various aspects of this, but he, as the man actually in charge with all the money, with apparently all the knowledge, just can't cap onto it, and it's worrying, I suppose. But fingers crossed there.
Yeah, what I think is also frustrating about this whole thing, and I probably speak for everyone, is that it's that you can't sit him down in front of you and say, Daniel, why are you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. That's the frustrating thing, is you can't, we can chat about it, but we can't, Daniel, why are you doing this? I'd love to see him come on one of your shows, an interview, any of the shows, But yeah, it's very, very frustrating. And it's not so much that it's the fact of how we've missed out on so many good players by not just going that little bit extra money. That bit of money that we can make up in 2 bloody matches of food and drink sales, And now they're saying that there's going to be full crowds now this season. So, hey, first 2 matches, we're going to make £3 million in food and drink sales. So,
Yeah, that's a bit of excitement. I suppose a bit of encouragement, because the new stadium was supposed to bring in revenue that could make us help us become a powerhouse in the transfer market. So hopefully we do start to see the benefits of that this summer. And if I were to get Daniel Levy on the show, I can guarantee I'd have Brian Daigle on with me, Brian from Tottenham away on here just to say whatever he wants to Daniel Levy and to really let the truth hit the man.
On there, I think.
I'd be there. I'd be ready to take him out the studio. But Brad, before we do let you go, the expectations of Spurs fans are all over the place. Some think we can really challenge for top 4 with the right signings. Others are expecting absolutely nothing, and I'm kind of in the middle thinking top 6. And I won't be happy, but I suppose I can accept it. What are you expecting from the season ahead in terms of any potential cup runs and most importantly in the league?
I think cup runs a lot are defined by luck because who you get in the draw. I think Bill Nicholson once said that during when they won the double, he said that he was always confident of winning the league. He said over 42 games as it was then, he knew he was consistent enough to win the league. But the cup was different because you might have one off game and you're out. So I think the cup depends a lot on luck. But if we get the luck, maybe. As far as the league's concerned, I've now resigned myself to the fact that it's going to be at the most top 6 and that it's going to be a transitional season. That's why I'm hoping that players like Sessegnon and Skip and that get a chance just to bed in to get Premiership football and then the following season. And again, it's like when Pochettino, I don't like bringing Pochettino up all the time, but yeah, you've got to find who you want in your team and who you're going to keep, who you're going to get rid of and get the players used to the system. And then hopefully next season kick on from there. Unfortunately, we can't attract certain players because we're not playing in the Champions League. That's one problem we might have. But if we can get decent players in, and we also need to look at the defence, we can get decent players in and improve that defence. We've got a lot of good attacking players. What was it, a few seasons ago when you had, I think, Son, Kane and Ali all scoring 20 goals. First time it had been done or something in the Premiership. So, so we've got a lot of attacking options. I think we should see a lot better from Stephen Bergwijn, these sort of players. Unfortunately, Gareth Bale won't be back. I'd love to see the season with him at the game, at the ground with a full crowd, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen. But, so I'm thinking transitional, top 6 at the best. They might surprise me. I hope they do. And then cup run, hopefully, if we get a bit of luck. The European League, it depends on how they look at it, whether they think of it a place to blood young players or whether they thought, no, let's go for it, this European Conference League. We will have to see, I guess.
Yeah, I was only thinking about that a while ago. As much as you can say Tottenham will struggle in the league this season, if we do look at the Europa Conference League as a chance to play a lot of young players, all of a sudden our senior players have a rest midweek, and that can make a massive difference in terms of our league chances. I remember Chelsea finishing 10th. Year they finished 10th, I think, won the Champions League. No, so the next season then they got in the top 4 and won the Champions League. And you're thinking, well, I mean, if that break midweek did that well for them, I think it could have some good benefits for Spurs as well. But look, Brad, absolute pleasure having you on. Always good seeing the live chat and good to get you on the show today as well. Everyone, make sure to go and follow Brad on Twitter. Brad Hotspur, I assume that's your Twitter handle?
Yeah, I will have a, not that it's football related, but I'm hoping to get a music channel up sometime this year. Basically my own songs. I decided when I turned 60 last year that I always used to write songs when I was 15, 16. I thought, no, I must sort of put everything to paper and try and record them and that sort of thing and just get them out there, leave a digital mark on the world, and so far, my little YouTube thing, it hasn't had any adverse comments so far, so who knows?
That's always good. It's always good.
I'll certainly let you guys know when that's up, but as I say, it's been in the running for a long time now. So,
well, look, best of luck with the channel. If you ever need any help or any advice, my DMs are always open, so make sure to reach out and I'll help as much as I can. But Brad, thanks for calling on today. A pleasure talking to you, and I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, I'm going to go and watch the Italy game now. See who England are going to get in the final.
Oh, the confidence. I can't wait till Denmark get that win. Look, Brad, enjoy the game, and again, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, cheers, Matt. Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you. We got a few channel members in the live chat. We got Vince and we got Shauna. If you want to pop on here, the link is in the members only community feed on my channel. Love to have you on and have a chat with you. Shauna, you can come on, you can plug your channel as well. So let's come on and have a chat. And any other channel members, if you are there, like I said, link in the members only community feed. If you're not a channel member and you do want to call on, you can hit that join button down below. Everything will be explained for you down there, but memberships start at just £1.99 per month, and you can come on here and you can have your say and on many more member call-in shows throughout the summer, plus different types of exclusive member content, including some notes from some of my analysis shows that I put out over the last week or so that people seem to enjoy. But look, let's get on our next channel member. Dan has been waiting in the back room very patiently for the last hour or so. So let's get him on and see what he has to say. Dan, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Are you happy with Nuno Espirito Santo as our new head coach?
Yes, he's a very good manager.
And do you think he can get us back into the Champions League? Do you think he's someone who can progress us as a club, or do you have any worries?
He almost got Wolves into the Champions League.
He did. Do you think he can take us that step further? Actually, get in there though.
I think so. It depends on what transfer budget he's got.
Yeah, look, the transfer window is a very, very important part of this. And like you mentioned there, we're already apparently close to agreeing a deal for Takahiro Tomiyasu, and we're also being linked to Jules Koundé. But the biggest thing we want to know from this transfer window is if Harry Kane is going to stay at the club. How do you see his transfer saga panning out?
Well, Man City made 100 million bid for him, but I got rejected. So I wouldn't be surprised if Man City come back again for Kane.
Yeah, and that is the biggest fear, that they will come back in and try and prize him away. Do you think Daniel Levy will accept the fee, or do you think Kane will stay?
I don't know, but I think Kane's worth about 150 million.
Yeah, look, I do as well. I think the money that Spurs will demand of Manchester City, I just don't think they'll be able to pay it, especially with the £100 million they're apparently ready to pay for Jack Grealish as well. So hopefully we can price them out of a move and manage to hold on to Kane. Tony Young just become a channel member. Tony, thank you very much for joining the channel membership. Like I said, link in the community feed if you do want to pop on for a quick chat. But Dan, some players that are expected to benefit from Nuno Espirito Santo at the club this season are a few of the young players that are coming back from loan, like Ryan Sessegnon and Oliver Skip. On Sessegnon, do you think he's going to be in that first team, or do you think he has a bit of work to do to displace Reguilon?
I don't know yet. It depends what Nuno thinks.
And what would you do? Would you start Sessegnon?
It depends on his fitness levels and that.
It does, yeah. I think with some of the players back at pre-season training today and in the next couple of days, I think we'll learn a lot about that. On Oliver Skip, do you think he's the right man to partner Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in the middle of the pitch?
I wouldn't mind if Nuno goes for Adama Traore.
Oh, he'd be a fantastic signing, putting that baby oil on and terrorising the fullbacks in the Premier League. If you could pick any signing for Spurs to make now, would it be Adama Traore, or are there any other players you think we should go for?
Insigne, the Italian striker.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic Euros. He's a player that would excite us. One that we are apparently being linked to. You know, a lot of Serie A players that we're looking at. Are you happy that Fabio Paratici seems to be taking control of the transfer decisions and all that, or are you happy that Daniel Levy has given up the control?
Yes, I'm happy with Paratici.
Look, he has
as new director.
Yeah, he has a fantastic reputation, and hopefully he can get some of those signings into Spurs that he managed to get done at Juve. But look, the big thing that we want to know, Dan, what are your expectations for the season ahead? Where do you think Spurs are going to finish? And do you think we could win any trophies?
Hopefully we can challenge for Champions League place.
Do you think FA Cup, League Cup, Europa Conference League, do you think we can get a trophy?
It'd be nice to win a trophy.
It would. It's been too long since we've seen it. I always say I started supporting Spurs the week after we last won a trophy, so it might be my fault that we have this hoodoo. But hopefully it comes to an end soon, and we get to see Hugo Lloris lifting a trophy. Which player do you think we need to look at as our standout player this season? Maybe aside from Harry Kane, who do you think is going to be a really important aspect of our squad?
Højbjerg?
Yeah, he's having an incredible Euros. Is he your player of the Euros?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he's shown the attacking side of his play that we haven't seen in the past. But hopefully Nuno Espirito Santo, if we do play a more attacking brand of football, hopefully he can get the best out of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And we start to see a bit more of the attacking side of him. But speaking of attacking, as I was talking to Brad there about Dele Alli, a player who's really struggled over the last couple of years, do you think we'll see him back to his best this year?
I hope so.
Is he one of your favourite players, or are you kind of on the side of he probably needs to be sold?
He is one of my favourite players. That's
good to hear. We're in the same boat on that one. I love when someone agrees with me on Dele Alli.
Yeah.
Dan, look, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. If you had to say one thing to Spurs fans from for the season ahead, one thing that you want them to know about the squad, or what's one message you give to those Spurs fans?
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love it, Dan. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Bye.
See you. Great call there, Dan. Good to have him on, and good to have Brad on as well, of course. Any other channel members, like I said, if you do want to pop on and have a chat, have your say on Spurs in the season ahead, please do hit that link in the members only community feed, and we can talk about Nuno and the transfer window ahead. Let's go through a few of the comments. Timideo says, as a rival fan, Spurs just need to gradually rebuild, and that I think is what we're looking at right now, just slowly getting back to where we were and where we know we can be, because we're in a bit of a free fall. I think Jose Mourinho added to that more than we would have liked. So just kind of steadying the boat and being able to push on Nuno Espirito Santo this season is probably the most important thing for us to do. Steve, good to see you in the live chat. Steve, if you do want to pop on, like I said, the link is in the members community feed. I'd love to have you on and have a chat with you about Spurs. Jack says, the fact we still haven't signed anyone to date is worrying, as the season is fast approaching. Close to deals is still not a deal. Look, that's what happens when you appoint a manager 2 weeks into the transfer window. I think the worries of Spurs are increasing by the day. Look, it's good we managed to get that manager on board, but we need to add to what we have, because it's probably the window where it's most important for us to make signings this window, because we just haven't really been able to get the most out of our players in the last couple of seasons, and our squad is depleted. I'm adamant that this team is better than it's showing, that we are underperforming and we're not 5, 6, 7, 8 signings away from challenging for top 4. I do think we need to just steady that defence and add a bit more grit in the middle of the park, and we could be challenging for that top 4. I do think our squad is underwhelming, but those couple of signings could be the difference between mid-table mediocrity and properly challenging for top 4. And the fact that we're not getting them in, the fact that, as the people are saying, we're close to signings, they're not actual signings, that is concerning, and we do really need to start getting these deals done and getting players in, because with pre-season starting now as well, this is where the players need to be. Spurs always leave it to the last couple of weeks, and then it takes these players 3 or 4 weeks to really settle in and get involved in the team. It takes a while for them to gel with everyone on there, and it's just everything is thrown out the window when they do start a little bit later. Brad with the £5 super chat said, cheers for having me on, Matt. Have a drink on me. Brad, thank you very, very much. And I'll make sure to have a drink on you for the Italy-Spain match starting at 8 o'clock. I appreciate your call, and I appreciate the super chat and the support as always. But look, let's get our next channel member on. We've got the Yid Kid joining us. How are you?
I'm great, and you?
I'm good. Look, let's dive straight into things. Nuno Espirito Santo, what are your thoughts?
It depends, because honestly, I think what he did at Wolves was phenomenal. But if Levy sticks his finger in this, it could be a big failure. Because, Nuno knows what he's doing. That's the bottom line. But then, let's say he wants to play 3 at the back, Levy's going to get a nice breakfast with him and tell him, let's play 4 at the back. Or maybe even Eric Dyer could walk into his office and start talking Portuguese. And then he'll start getting played into the lineup. It's interesting, because when you get a manager, you hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
That's very true, especially when you're Tottenham. You always have that kind of negative thought when you're Tottenham. Steve Williams in the live chat says, is Matt old enough to drink? I'm 20, Steve. I'm 20. I'm old enough. I may not look it, but I am. The transfer window, like we're chatting about there, is something that Spurs haven't really got going in just yet. But of course, Tomiyasu potentially over the line soon. Where do you think we need to strengthen the most, and what players would you identify as ones that could come in and improve us as a team?
Well, the center back position obviously is the main weakness. There's nothing that you could say that would change my mind about that. The center back position is one of the worst. We probably have the worst defensive line in the league. And for Jesus' sake, Sheffield United is there. Sheffield United. There's no Eric Dyer. All the balls that he's lost. The same thing goes for Davinson Sanchez. For Toby Alderweireld is our best center back. Toby Alderweireld, and he's had a howler of a Euro.
And he wants to leave.
Exactly. So I think obviously you can see it. You all seen all the links. We've been linked to Koundé. We've been linked to Skriniar. We've been linked to Tomiyasu. I think obviously we know who Levy is. We know he's not going to get a Skriniar in. I think Skriniar is too much into the daydream. We're not going to get that cash. I think two brand new center backs, maybe a new striker if Kane leaves, and then that will be our transfer window, because I don't see Daniel Levy doing much more than that.
That is it. It's the fear of Daniel Levy getting his teeth stuck into this, despite apparently giving the control to Fabio Paratici. Luke Conroy with the £10 super chat says, get some more bevs for tomorrow, it's coming home. Luke, thank you for the super chat. I do really appreciate it. I don't agree that it's coming home, but I'll take your word for it, and I'll certainly enjoy that game tomorrow, watching Pierre-Emile Højbjerg rip that midfield of England apart. But Luke, thank you very much for the super chat. I agree, or I appreciate it. Speaking of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, he's having a fantastic Euros. Do you think he's going to be given the kind of freedom to show the attacking prowess that he's had on the national team and the club side next season?
Well, I mean, with three at the back, I think he should be. I mean, the thing with Hoiberg is he's such a strong player, and his main thing is defensively. But the fact
Mhm.
that he could go and attack as well just shows you how much of a versatile player he is. And I think Hoiberg needs to be. I mean, I think last season he kind of got a little bit overplayed because there was some matches in there that I thought he didn't. It wasn't necessary to play him. He played
Mm.
almost. I'm pretty sure he played every single minute in the Premier League. That I'm pretty sure he's one of Tottenham's most played the league's most played players in the league, if not counting goalkeepers, obviously. But
Mm.
Hoiberg, I think he's a quality player, and I think the effort that he puts in, I think any coach will take him. He's a player that any coach would want to have in their club.
Definitely, definitely. He's that player. Even Pep Guardiola spoke about him when he had him at Bayern Munich. Just said he's one of those perfect midfielders that you love to have. But the question for Spurs and Nuno now going into next season is who partners him in the middle of the park, because we have Tanguy Ndombele kind of was moved between the deeper lying role and the number 10 position throughout the season. We've Oliver Skip now coming back on loan from Norwich as well. If it was your choice, who would you put in beside Højbjerg in that midfield double pivot?
I would really love Pedro Neto. I would really love Pedro Neto. I mean, the thing with Nuno now, I think he could attract some Portuguese players, and I don't want us to turn into Portugal FC, but I want to. There's some quality Portuguese players out there that Nuno could bring in. I'll bring him in with open arms. But Neto maybe one. Obviously, Ndombele, he's a quality player, quality player. If we don't get any transfers in, I'd say Ndombele. But the thing with Ndombele, he's got to put down the burger and get some weights in because he's got to put some more effort in. I think he's a quality player. I think he's. I don't know if you, Maddie. I don't know if you saw the Q&A with Gareth Bale. They asked him which player surprised you the most, and
Mm.
he said Ndombele, and he even compared him to Ronaldinho. But the
Wow.
comparison to Ronaldinho to me, it doesn't really mean much. You can compare Phil Jones to Maldini; it doesn't mean anything. But it's an interesting one with Ndombele. He just needs to put more heart into it. He needs to put a mixture between Ndombele and Højbjerg would be the best player in the world.
Oh, that would be a terrifying prospect for opponents. And on the point you made there about Bale talking about Ndombele, I think a lot of people always liken Ndombele on the pitch to Moussa Dembele. But it's the same with whenever you ask a Spurs player in the last 5 or 6 years who's the best player they played with, they always say Moussa Dembele. He's an absolute monster, and they hated being up against him in training. And if Tongan Ndombele can become even 75% of what Moussa Dembele was for us, I think we have a fantastic player in our hands, and one that could really be kind of a stalwart in our team for the next couple of years. And speaking of players like that, players for the future, Ryan Sessegnon, another player coming back from loan, could thrive under Nuno Espirito Santo in that left wing back role. Are you looking forward to seeing what he could bring to us this season?
Yeah, I am. I really like Ryan Sessegnon. He's one of my favorite Spurs players. I mean he's attacking. I think with this Nuno, I think he could really become a huge player with Nuno. I think Nuno can really make a lot of players really huge. I think Doherty is gonna be the one of the most that could benefit off of this. He was playing right back most of the season, and I think he likes to play right wing back more. I think we all know that. But there's a lot of players that can get a lot of improvement under Nuno, and I do think Ryan Sessegnon is one of them. And I'm looking forward to seeing next season.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him being a proper player for Spurs. 'Cause I love watching him at Fulham. I was very excited with the signing, and it hasn't quite gone to plan just yet. But there's so much time for that to turn around. If you're looking at players who don't have time to turn it around, the deadwood that could be on their way out of Spurs this summer, what players would you identify as the ones that we definitely need to move on to new clubs?
Oh, Maddie, I have a whole list. I have a whole list.
Go through it. Go through it.
That list is bigger than my Christmas list. I'm telling you. I have Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer, top of the list. Musa Sissoko, Harry Winks, Harry Stinks, Davison Sanchez, Aurier, and many more. Many more.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of movement out of Spurs this summer, but
But the thing with
it,
Daniel Levy is he just has a thing in his heart for those type of players. And you saw with Danny Rose or with Christian Eriksen. I mean, what happened to him was obviously a tragedy. But if he wanted to leave, let him leave. And he was trying to hug him. Hey, just stay at Tottenham, please. Stay at Tottenham. You know, we love you. We love you. And then Christian Eriksen like, please get your hands off me and let me leave.
we go. I want to go to Milan. Poor Danny Rose thought he was going with him, but we know how that's played out.
Danny Rose thought he was
Uh,
going to Barcelona.
and he's ended up at Watford, the poor lad. Killian Kenny, good to see you in the live chat. Talking of a player that may want to go, but Daniel Levy could be bear hugging into staying. Harry Kane. How do you see this playing out? Do you think Kane will be a Spurs player throughout next season?
It's an interesting one because honestly, if Kane wants to go, I don't think we should do a Christian Eriksen. I think just let him go because what could happen is Kane loves this club. Kane absolutely loves this club. He would want to win one trophy at Tottenham more than he'd want to win three at Man City. He would want to
Mm.
win. He just loves the club, and I think we've seen in the recent reports that he's not having a great relationship with Daniel Levy. Not a big surprise to me, but I think if we let him go and he wants to go, let's say he wins a few trophies at Man City, and he has 2 more years left in his career, I think he could come back to Tottenham and do a Teddy Sheringham. And then, or if he wants to stay, let's say he stays one more season and he's getting close to the record for the most Tottenham goals. Maybe he'll stay at Tottenham to try and break it, or maybe
Hmm.
I think he's gonna stay at a Premier League club if he does go because he's trying to break the Alan Shearer record as well.
Yeah, I can see him breaking that. Whether he's at Spurs or at Manchester City, I think he's just an unstoppable force. If you were given 60 seconds to talk to Harry Kane, what would you say to him that you think would make him stay at Spurs? If there's anything to even mention,
That's a good question. I mean,
I
I'll
can't
give
think
you.
of anything.
I mean, I would say stay one more season, we'll win a trophy. But guess what? We told him that exact same thing last season.
Hmm.
So it's like he's gonna be like, wait, I've heard this before. I'm gonna go. I've gotta go. The thing with Harry Kane, we've said if he wants to go, I think he should go because I don't think Harry Kane's the type of player to sit in the middle of a pitch, sit down, and not play any. I think he still loves the club. I don't think he loves Daniel Levy, but I think he loves the club.
Hmm.
But I think I'd tell him to that he's an inspiration and that he changed a lot of people's life. A lot of things that he done, like the fact that he was left out of the Arsenal academy because he was overweight, and he ends up being the top goal scorer in the North London derby. That's kind of a story, but I mean, he's an inspiration, and he will change a lot of lives if he stays at Tottenham. That's what I'll tell him.
Absolutely love it. I think that's too much for him to say no to. He can't say no to that. Surely he'd end up staying there. But a lot of love to you here in the live chat. Jack Legros, Orange Fancy, and Ashish Babs are all loving what you're having to say. Before we do let you go, we need your predictions, your expectations for the season ahead. Nuno's first at the club. Of course, the upcoming transfer window will have a lot of bearing on how it pans out. But how can you see us getting on domestically in Europe next season?
I do think we'll win the Conference League. If we don't win the Conference League, that's going to be one of the biggest embarrassments in the history of football. The conference. I mean, we're going to be playing in stadiums that are not even half as big as the South Stand in our stadium. The final that they're going to play in the Conference League, it's not as big as the South Stand in our stadium. That it will be quite embarrassing if we lose. And imagine if the finals against Jose Mourinho and Roma. That will be something. That will be something that I mean, a lot of fans will be quite. I mean, Daniel Levy will have his hands red in blood. But I think we'll finish in Europa League spots if I'm being honest. I don't think we're gonna get top four. To be honest, I'm trying to be optimistic, but top four is a little bit. I mean, we haven't finished top four, and we had Jose Mourinho for Jesus' sake. Jose
Mhm.
Mourinho.
Yeah, I'm right in the same boat with you. I think top six is what our expectation should be because it's realistically not going to be much better than that. But Tom Balam there as well saying the Yid Kid talks a hell of a lot of sense, and I absolutely agree with that. Do you want to let us know about your YouTube channel before you head off?
You guys can find me on my YouTube channel at the Yid Kid. I make daily podcasts, but on Monday I bring on guests, and hopefully we could do something with you, Maddie. We're trying to do a transfer episode, going over all the transfers. I know you're the master of the transfer window, but yeah. You guys can check out my channel. We just smashed 200 subscribers like 2 days ago, so big achievement for me. And see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much, Maddie, for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, and congrats on the 200 subscribers as well. And everyone, make sure to go over and subscribe to the Yid Kids channel. Hopefully, we'll see me on there very very soon. But thanks for calling in, and I hope to talk to you soon again.
All right, bye, Maddie.
See you. Bye. Some very good call-ins there. We are, like I said, we're going to wrap up about 15-20 minutes before kickoff in the Italy and Spain game because I just want to go and watch it. Only 3 games left in the Euros. We got to get in as many of those as we possibly can. But like we always do, or like we do often here on the channel, whenever we can, we're going to raid another Spurs content creator. So Will Stewart is streaming live right now, and this is his time slot every single Tuesday. So he usually goes at 6:30 UK time on a Tuesday. I had to go today because I'm just trying to get these shows out, trying to get a members show out. Thank you to all the members, of course, who called in to us as well. But we're going to go and we're going to raid Will. We're going to say Matt says sorry. Just jump into the live chat for Will Stewart. Just say Matt says sorry. Hit a like, hit a subscribe if you haven't already. You gotta let him know where you came from. And go over. He's doing a fantastic show at the moment with Bob Spur. It's his Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boy show. It usually does it with Cody Mack. Cody couldn't make it on tonight, so Bobby's taking his place. They're having a fantastic discussion over there. I was watching it for half an hour before I popped on live here. So please do go and check out that show. Let him know, like I said, says Matt says sorry. That's all you got to say, and show him the support that he absolutely deserves. But for me, we are, like I said, going to wrap up the show there. Do make sure to hit that like button. We're on 230 viewers live right now. We only have 75 likes, so let's hit that like button and see if we can get to 100 likes before we do wrap up. If you do want more content from this channel, including more member call-in shows, the Tottenham Hotspur Transfer Talk series, and another exclusive interview coming up with Fabrizio Romano in the next couple of weeks with regards to Tottenham transfers, please do hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it, and it'll keep you up to date with all that content as we try to get to 10k before the new season starts. But like I said, the most important thing is to go over to Will Stewart's DHFC rants. The link is in the live chat. You can't miss it because I put it in there about 25 times. Say Matt says sorry, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But for me, for now, thank you so much for watching.